Ed?
So, you've been to this site, it's probably been a while, though. So, your proposal for the new school moves it away from the homes on the right. It actually moves the building away from the homes that are situated to the right of the property.
Yes.
Can you picture that?
Yes, it does. It backs up to the, well, the wooded area that's between the school and the police department,
And besides the, the obvious,
and the wetlands. It's a wetlands also.
right, it moves it away from that, and backs it up.
Yeah, it
towards
backs
the
it up to a
Canterbury.
non-populated area, yes.
Right. Besides the obvious benefit of the new building being less disruptive in terms of renovation, what else can be in that new building that wouldn't be in any of the renovated buildings?
Well, it's really a matter of the quality of the spaces. I mean, you can only do so much inside of an existing envelope. You can make a space totally adequate to today's educational models and contemplated future, but they'll never be exactly the same as building a new building where you can put in higher ceilings and use indirect lighting. You can make it more energy efficient. There are, don't get me wrong, I mean, the numbers we're talking about would be, this could be a green project, all of them. But still, it would never be quite as efficient as a brand-new building where the sustainable design features are built right into it from day one.
So, one of the issues that we have with the current building, besides sort of the code and the HVAC types of issues that have to be dealt with, that we'll talk about later on tonight, is science and technology. And so the solution is to try to build, as I see it in your renovations, is to try to build either on the left or the right side a wing that's new and wired for science and technology.
Yes, in the left or the right, or in the center, which I think makes more of a statement about the importance of science and technology in the academic program. It also allows you to open up the center because we're building a two-story. We have to build the second story to make connectors. Well, we're using them now to put classrooms on. So if you can imagine a bridge or a street with things on either side, I mean, that's the difference in terms of what's more cost-effective.
So, in a renovation scenario, are you taking into account the idea of, rewiring and bringing technology to all the classrooms?
Absolutely.
Okay,
Absolutely.
all right. And
This is a soup-to-nuts renovation to bring the school totally up to 21st century standards.
And I didn't go back, I'm sorry, and look at the original report from 2 years ago in any detail. We're expecting 2,000 students there within a couple of years, based on the enrollment that we're looking at,
I believe the number that we were working with was 1,900.
1,900.
But
okay.
a school of this size would absorb 100 more without any difficulty at all.
And in a renovation, the 30-month, 3-summer, 2.5-year renovation, some classrooms, well, every year, classrooms would have to make do. And so in other words, every year, a different part of the school would be under construction, meaning that people would have to maybe double up or share classes or move or...
Well, not necessarily double up. What we try and do is work out a plan to keep the number of classrooms that are needed at any one time available. They'll just be in different places. What you try and do is build the new construction as quickly as possible so you can use that as swing space before you start going in and gutting other classrooms. So once you had the science wing, now you can go into the old science classrooms and convert them into new large classrooms.
And
So
what-
it's more of a chess game than wiping the board clean and...
Okay. What has to be done, remind us, what has to be done to the field house to shore that up, to...
Well, there's some structural, and there are some graphics in the report.
Original report, yeah.
Yeah, well, in the final. also that show that. But essentially, there's a problem of racking that can be corrected. It's not a very difficult thing to correct, but that's type of structure tends to be very stable in one direction and not so stable in the other, and there's been some movement. I understand there's also been some movement of some of the things that are inside the field house lately, so I mean, it would be all of that would be corrected.
Yeah.
Basically vertical movement.
So you feel confident in saying that you potentially get a completely brand-new high school that would have a shelf life of how long?
Well, the building itself, many building components will last 50 years or more. Others, mechanical, will not last that long, 20, 25 years. In fact, the district, as I said, has had a program of replacing things oftentimes before they, totally break down. So you're keeping ahead of the wave of destruction that time always plays out in these schools.
So that scenario, new building, 24 months, nothing happens to the old high school except we continue to try to repair and patch things as needed. It's just $30 million. I know it just sounds like a silly adjective, but just $30 million more for a new school that lasts 50 years as opposed to renovation of a current school.
Yeah, 25 to 30.
Great, thanks.
Anybody else? Anybody else have any questions or comments? Well, I don't have any questions. I have been living and breathing this for 2 years now. I think I get the big picture, and the sticker shock is definitely there. It's going to be something that we'll have to sink in. But I thank you for finalizing this report, and I think we'll have a discussion later on this evening about where we go from here.
Thank you very much, and anytime I can be of assistance, I'm right down the street.
Thank you so much.